had. We just finished up one match, a super good one between our world record holder, Wilson, and a newer runner, Zephyros. Now we have another match, which is EloJimmini versus Chicken Supreme out of the Swallows Nest group. Wilson, in our last race, is #1 in the world. EloJimmini is #2, and he's only behind by 1 second. This is also EloJimmini's first match in this tournament, whereas Chicken is on to his second. So that should sort of give everyone a primer on the group standings and the race we have coming up. I do want to quickly run over some additional information about the runners before we get started. Also, while we were on break, Rory's Discord died. So I'm just going to kind of talk by myself for like a few minutes and hope for the best. Wait, okay, I see him there. Hopefully Rory will be coming back, and hopefully he'll be able to hear me this time. While I wait for Rory, in the interest of time, I want to start giving a little bit more information about Elo. Hey, Rory, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Oh, thank God.
Fix my computer.
Okay, so I just introduced the match. I'm going to quick introduce Elo, and then you can introduce Mr. Chicken Supreme.
All right.
Okay, so EloJimmini, as I said, is currently #2 in the world. He's at a 28.50. That's only 1 second behind Wilson's 28.49. Elo's playing on keyboard mouse, and sort of as with Wilson, you can pretty well expect that if something is fast, he will probably be going for it. It's about as simple as that.
Right, though I know he did say that he's not going to do as many crazy dumb things. He's going to do the fast things, but not the stupid things, basically.
Those are often one and the same.
Yes.
Anyway, can you tell us a bit about Chicken?
Yeah, so Chicken, on the other hand, he's also been around a while, but he actually, so he PB'd last night with a 35.28, so just really good stuff coming into the tournament. It seems like he's been preparing, but he's not going to be going for as many crazy things. And again, about a 6-minute discrepancy in PBs there, so I think more than anything, I'm looking for just him to put on a good show relative to his own skill level.
Right, it's kind of similar to the last race. I mean, in the last race, we had, like a 13 or 14 minute between the PBs, something crazy, which you would expect out of, world record versus brand new runner. In this race, the difference is not nearly as much, only on the order of 6 to 7 minutes, but that's still a very long time when you're talking about a 30 to 35 minute speed run.
Right, and it looks like we're getting underway here.
Can I just say one more thing, kind of before we get really into the action about Chicken and how much of a stand-up guy Chicken Supreme is?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
At AGDQ this year, as things randomly turned out, Chicken Supreme ended up having a room directly adjacent to some of the other Ori people. And even though he had the room to himself, he basically allowed us to open the door between the rooms. And so we have this giant monolithic double Ori room, which is good because we had 1,000 people there. And to top it all off, there was one day, which was shown on Chicken's miscellaneous stats, he bought pizza for the whole Ori crew, like 20 people. He went and just bought a bunch of pizzas. And it was amazing.
Chicken's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a super great guy. So I just wanted everyone to know that. He's still probably going to lose the race, but like, that was really good.
Unfortunately, the ability to buy pizza for the entire Ori crew does not make you go any faster.
No, unfortunately, it does not.
If it did, I'm sure we would have a lot more pizza at AGDQ.
Yes, that is true. We had a lot of it. It's tasty food. Anyway. We've made it up to sign. As always, we wouldn't expect to see much of a difference. There's just not a whole lot you can do to optimize this first section. Both of these runners, just like the last race, are on keyboard mouse, so we're not going to probably see the differences. Yep, we see the quick scroll wheel shooting from both Elo and Chicken. Elo just having a slightly faster time of things, so Elo's going to take a very early lead over on the left side.
Yep, and one of the things that I think is really cool about this block is that we go from Wilson to Elo, and these two are basically on the same level, so we're going to get to see a really similar performance.
Right, it'll be interesting to see if there are any of those small differences in the strats that the two of them decide to go for.
Right, because especially also Wilson having, by his own admission, being a little rusty, I don't know how Elo's feeling coming into this.
I know Elo has been practicing a bit. I can't say exactly how much, but I would expect him to be maybe a hair less rusty.
Right, and I know he has in the past sort of been known for his consistency and patience with this game.
Well, and to go along with that, just knowing Elo from his streams, I haven't met him in person, hopefully eventually, but knowing Elo from his streams, he's one of the most chill and calm, relaxed people. I don't think I've ever seen him get salty, and that's saying something when you're playing Ori and the Blind Freaking Forest at a world record level.
Yeah, absolutely.
This game is great, but it's pretty much a salt factory.
Yes, it is.
Not that anyone in Ori would get salty.
No, that would never happen.
Never, ever, ever. Elo is sort of increasing his lead a little bit. He just picked up a keystone, which he's actually going to be using later over in the Moon Grotto. We sort of grab it now in order to save time on a rather slow mini boss in the grotto. But Elo's going to be heading down. It looks like he's not going to level up on the way down. He'll just be leveling up on the way out. You saw him quickly toggle on his user interface to verify his XP.
And another just the thing that I want to point out here is that some of this gap in this early game on wall jump is because Elo did opt to not pick up that 4th health cell, that little extra bit of early game safety. I'm completely unsurprised by that, given how skilled of a runner he is, but I just wanted to point that out.
I mean, it's still scary, though. You know, just as you get better and better at a game, it doesn't make the fundamental game mechanics work any differently. It's kind of like, you ever watch a Dark Souls runner? Like, they still take all the same damage that you would from the boss. They're just really good at dodging it. Like, EloJimmini will still die in one hit to Sorrow Spikes and to Misty Spikes, and everything still deals damage, and everything is still just as deadly. Elo is just, you know, more adept than most at avoiding all of it.
Right, and if we're lucky, he won't hit any of that stuff.
Let's hope. I think I was kind of thinking about this. Do you think that maybe Misty is, I guess, if there was one area that you had to say was the most dangerous in the run, especially at 3 health, what do you think your answer would be?
My answer would actually be the Death Gauntlet, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Because, like, say you're a little in the water a little bit too long. Say Sign misses a shot on the slime. 3 health, you're dead. 4
That's
health,
true.
you have an extra second.
Yeah, and you do tend to get sent back pretty far. Like, most runners will even take a safety save at, like, the beginning of Misty.
Right, I think, and especially, like, if you're not going quite as fast, if you're willing to, you can spend 1 energy on another safety save midway through Misty.
Yeah. I do want to... Sorry, I want to half interrupt you for a moment. I want to see what skill Elo takes. He took Quick Flame.
Quick Flame. Okay, so that's a really big difference from what we saw Wilson do.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and let you explain that.
Yeah, so that means that he doesn't have Magnet, which would allow him to pick up experience from a little bit further away. With Quick Flame, he's going to have a little bit of a more difficult time on Frankie Walk coming up. We should see Chicken leveling Magnet here in comparison.
Right, there's 2 skills. Well, you can get any of those initial skills. Most runners will go for Magnet, or some of them will also go for Rekindle. It just depends on how you want to manage your experience going through this. You can kind of make it work in a bunch of different ways. Quick Flame is much rarer. It is something that Elo does consistently. I don't think this is like some brand new crazy tournament strats, but it's unusual overall.
No, I think the Quick Flame route first started last tournament, actually, when we started adding the Darkness skip in.
I think that sounds about right.
Save and reload here before this final laser. That is to set up the cycle manipulation. So as you see, he doesn't have to wait on that second platform cycle there.
Well, Elo's making very short work of this area, just moving through it very cleanly. We'll see him wait for just a moment to manipulate the cycles in the next room. Chicken did have a little bit of trouble with the jump getting up to that orb, but he did eventually make it and dropped a safety save. He used his level up explosion to take out the slime and collect his XP, which means that Chicken did get, Magnet as we would expect, and I guess we already saw him take. So just in general, you'll see Chicken have an easier time picking up XP, especially for the Frankie Walk, whereas Elo's going to have... well, I guess it depends. He could still get Magnet here.
I don't think he can, because then he wouldn't be he would be down a point in the green tree or the blue tree.
Oh, you're right.
And we need to get to Charge Dash in that, so I don't think he has the points to get to Magnet.
I'm doing like Ori trigonometry in my head and calculus. I'm like, wait, he could get Magnet or he could get Rekindle. What can happen?
I think he has to get Rekindle here.
Well, we'll find out in just a few seconds. Elo, during this save anywhere, cannot spend a point immediately, or he won't skip the cutscene properly in a way that's useful. Yep, got Rekindle.
That's pretty much what we'd expect there. But so that Quick Flame that he has, of course, it'll allow him to fire off 3-shot volleys instead of 2 with Sign, and that's going to come in handy coming up on the Ginso mini boss soon.
That's right. Can I just point out that dash time by Elo was an abomination. That was like just barely over 7 minutes. And to pull that off in a tournament race is really, really impressive.
Yeah, these a lot of these top runners are getting like 350 something or even 340 something times from wall jump to dash, and it's just insane, and I don't know how they do it.
Black magic is the most likely answer. I don't know. Elo's British. I don't know, uses some kind of weird magic. I see.
So Elo taking an extra hop with his Frankie there to make sure that it didn't get stuck. That was in comparison to Wilson last race, that we noticed that he didn't do that. Like he takes those optimizations on the hops that Elo chose not to go for there.
Right, and so here on the left, we see Elo did get a successful frog walk. He does not have magnet, so we had to do a different version of the Frankie walk, which you mentioned earlier, Rory, which is the magnetless Frankie walk. Magnetless Frankie walk is exactly what it sounds like. You just have to kill the frog much closer to you. Elo was also able to, he avoided the death glide because he has quick flame. He can use his triple shots. It's very, very fast triple shots to take out those brambles much, much more quickly. Ordinarily, you kind of have to pace things a bit more carefully.
And Elo is going to now take his attempt at early grotto cycle.
See if he can pull it off. Yep, waits for a moment, dashes 3 times, gets up there. Yice! Nice.
That looked really close, but he does not get one framed. Makes it through just fine.
I love that one frame exists, by the way.
Yeah.
It's almost just...
Meanwhile, you can see the sort of the advantage that Magnet has in that Frankie walk. He's able to kill the Frankie a lot further away and just sit there and wait on the ledge.
That's right. So Chicken is into the Death Gauntlets. Just like Elo, he's deciding to not go for the Death Gauntlet. And you can see he has to pace his shots a little bit more carefully without the triple shot that Quick Flame provides. So Chicken is going to be making his way down into Grotto, while Elo is going to be pretty quickly coming out. Elo is currently partway through his blind movement at double jump. Let's see how high up on the wall he can get. Pretty high. Nice job.
I'm always impressed when people can get over to the left wall, because I have trouble like knowing where the spikes are, since you can't climb up all the way because there's spikes there. And if you jump too early, there's spikes there.
This game is just polluted with spikes.
There's too many spikes.
There are way too many spikes.
Fortunately, there is a section of the game that has chips in it.
That's true. So if anyone's hungry, if anyone needs a snack, I'm actually starving. I haven't eaten today, but that's okay. We're gonna get plenty of tasty, salty snacks later in the run in Sorrel Pass.
Hopefully no spaghetti, though.
Hopefully no spaghetti, although that... Just thinking about food now. Okay, so Elo's working his way up.
Have to wait.
Yeah. Chicken's making his way over to double jump, so Elo on the left still does have a pretty sizable lead, which is not unexpected. Remember that Elo is currently 2nd place in the world, only 1 second behind world record. So for all intents and purposes, he's, at roughly an equal skill level to Wilson that we just saw in the last race. Although Elson, that's not his name. I said that. EloJimmini is maybe even playing a little bit cleaner than Wilson did.
Yeah, I think it looks like it is, and that's sort of to be expected, since a little bit less rust has been able to practice, and like we said, Elo is sort of like the king of consistency in Ori.
That's absolutely true. We saw it, and Elo's just making short work of everything. It makes commentary difficult. He doesn't give us time to say anything. He just is like, oh, here's the section, and we're already done with it.
All right, so Chicken is going to be taking his attempted grotto skip. Gets it first try. Nicely done.
Very, very nicely done. I don't know if there's a good place to point this out, so I'll just say it now. We did ask both of our runners here, Elo and Chicken, whether they'd be watching each other. It's always sort of a judgment call. Some runners maybe find that it helps them, and some runners may find that it adds too much stress and nerves. Elo said that he would not be watching Chicken, although given their PBs, I think he can feel confident that he will be able to...
Elo, no!
That's rough.
So what happened there, for anyone who missed it, is that he took a hit on the spinning thing on the way in, and then wasn't able to quite get out in time.
I think that was probably caused he just tried to be so aggressive with it.
Yeah, it looked like it. It looked like he maybe had a little bit of... That's what happened on his way in. He got hit on that, but he had a little bit of trouble getting out. And of course, remember, Elo is at 3 HP.
That's right. It was a smart little... I don't know if it was an adaptation or whether Elo always does it, but taking 2 damage from the purple spinny wheels, he was down to 1 health, which means that if Elo had done the usual damage boost through that slime, it would have been good night Ori. And so Elo made the smart move to quickly take it out with Quick Flame instead.
And because he has Quick Flame, it is significantly faster to kill that slime, as opposed to not having Quick Flame.
Watching Quick Flame with the scroll wheel is pretty cool to see overall. You just see this little volley of little energy particles and things just sort of evaporate under your power. It's neat, I'd say.
Right. It's especially true once if any category gets Spark Flame.
Oh, and Elo on the left. My God, he just did super fast telehops. That's a trick that we mentioned last run, but just to reiterate, it's a way to sort of, every time you go through a portal in the Ginso tree, your double jump is refreshed, which means that in that room, you sort of have portals on either side that are the full height of the whole area. You can just jump back and forth. And if you do it really fast, like Elo did, it saves you like 2 seconds. But most runners don't go for it because you need to execute really, really fast in order to save any time.
Here's this this Mr. Asmus cycle from Elo here, just saving a few frames on the start of this shooter cycle. Meanwhile, Chicken has picked up his Swamp Teleporter. He's making his way to Ginso, and he did Detour to pick up that extra ability cell that Elo skipped. That is because Chicken Supreme will be using Terror Break to get to Sunstone, while Elo will be going for Crazy Juggle.
That's right. I also want to pay attention to Elo's mini-boss on the left side. He has Scroll Wheel triple shot with Quick Flame. Look how fast he can kill this mini-boss. Look how fast he can kill this mini-boss the second time. Look how fast he can kill this
the third time. Look how fast Ori can die in this mini-boss room.
We're sorry, Elo. We cursed you.
But so this is the reason why the Quick Flame route exists, is this mini-boss here.
That's right. It's kind of funny. Before the Frankie Walk existed, we would sort of go through the game in a more intended order, which means that you can take out the boss in a really quick 2-cycle using Charge Flame. But of course, we don't have Charge Flame yet. We won't be getting it until all the way after Swamp, so a little while from now.
Right. It's the intended third skill? Yeah, third skill of the game, and we pick it up 7th. So we kind of don't have that tool that the developers expected us to have.
Imagine doing things in a way that the developers did not intend. Nobody would think of that.
No
Nice
one would think
hyperspeed,
of doing that.
by the way, by Elo.
That hyperspeed is just really precise to get. You have such a small area to dash in on that ledge before the ghost door.
That's right. Well, Elo, despite having a few issues with the mini-boss, I guess a good thing about dying to that mini-boss is that Elo can take it out faster than most. So those deaths cost him less time than they might other runners. Like Chicken, who's now into his mini-boss as well, and hopefully will not have any deaths. Chicken, as we said earlier, is also on keyboard mouse, so we will probably be seeing the fast shots as well. But the real challenge, I'd say, in this mini-boss is making sure that you catch the cycles at the right time.
Right, and that really depends on whether or not you can see that 1-frame tell and how optimally you set up your shots during the time that it spawns.
Well, there goes the mini-boss for Chicken, and Elo just got a super fast and clean. Look at some of this movement. Elo is just throwing in these double bashes all over the place to save little bits of time. He canceled his upward movement from a bash with a double jump to take his intentional death before the key dupe like a half-second faster. That's really risky.
That's so risky. I think I've seen, like, the TAS do that.
Yeah, and that's about it. But I mean, it paid off, and Elo is just showing his veteran nature with this run, making short work of everything. All the mini bosses, all the enemies, all the keys are just bending to his will.
Now he does drop 10 XP in this room because he doesn't have Magnet, but he was able to pick up 20 of it, which is pretty nice. I know with the Magnet route, we just get that 30 XP from that second mini boss kind of for free.
I'm hoping that 10 XP won't be a problem, and even if it is, Elo's experienced enough that I'm sure he knows, when or if he needs to check his experience.
Yeah, I don't think it will be. The experience route is really lenient after Frankie Walk. It's not like it used to be with Core Skip in the route, where what if you actually have to pick up all 30 XP from that without Magnet?
That's right. Well, to pay attention over on the left again, Elo is currently doing some blind movement, and then he's going to take what is probably going to be a quick attempt at his swamp entry. Yep, just bashing the frog across. There's a double bash. Did not make a safety save because who needs them when you're second place in the world? Elo's going to be baiting a first shot there, and then here's the second shot. He'll be using double bashing. It's okay, missed that one. He'll go bait another shot. There it is. And there we go.
Nice job from Elo there, and I do want to just point out, our stats guys are saying that Chicken was only 2 seconds behind his PB at Bash. He has had a little bit of trouble with this damage boost through these spikes here, so we'll have to get another update on that later. But it's possible that we could be seeing either a PB run or close to a PB run.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. I do want to say, as we've said multiple times, Elo is currently second place in the world. He's only 1 second behind world record. So almost anyone going up against Elo is going to look kind of slow by comparison. But as you said, Chicken is putting on a perfectly fine, respectable performance here. It's not like he's playing particularly badly. You know, Elo just kind of makes anyone look a little bit slower by comparison.
Right. And that, and then you notice the difference between having Magnet and not again. Chicken is just able to get that 30 experience kind of for free.
Right. Well, to give another race update, Elo on the left is still in the lead. He's made his way all the way through Stomp and out of this area, made a quick safety save because he needs to use his frog. He's going to bash it up top, and then, can he get to it again? Yes, he can. Nice job. Taking the stability cell.
I haven't seen that movement over to the right to get to that frog. I've always seen people just go up the wall to the left.
Well, I think the reason he did it is that the frog can run away from you, and so he wanted to bait a shot before it ran away.
Yeah, that does make sense. If the frog decides to run away from you, just sort of suicides into spikes below.
Yeah, and Elo did have a safety save, but he made it through. And speaking of making it through things, Elo made his way downtown all the way through the Kuro cutscene skip, kind of intentionally bashing through a very precise. Well, ow.
No. Okay. Well, he's gonna make it through his Kuro cutscene skip again. Hopefully.
That's okay. He's gonna get 2 for 2. Let's see it.
Oh
yeah, 2 for 2. Easy peasy.
He just wanted to show us that trick again.
He did. It's I mean, what trick, Rory? There's no cutscene there.
Yeah, he had to make sure that there wasn't a cutscene there.
Anyway, sorry, I'm getting so distracted here. Chicken on the right is taking his attempt at swamp entry. The frog shot phased through the first platform a little bit, so we had a little bit of trouble with it. But there goes the second one. Let's see if he makes a safety save. No, but he's past the Rhino.
Meanwhile, Elo took another death to the same spikes there. He's been trying for a sort of precise damage boost through this little patch of spikes on that wall there. And if you hit those spikes wrong, you just sort of get knocked down and into these instant kill spikes below. And he's going to go for it again, the madman.
You know, I like the attitude.
Third try.
It's always interesting to see, you know, when do you decide to abandon a strat and go for the safer strats. But I guess, you know, Elo, as we said, seems to have a very calm personality in general, and that calm personality has paid off. He's been able to, I think, maybe be very analytical about trying to improve his times. And Elo, I think, of all the Ori runners I know, is probably the least prone to salt, as I mentioned earlier. So despite those 2 deaths, whereas another runner like you or me, for example, might think, you know, screw this, I'm going to go for the easy route. Elo probably thought, that's fine, I'm going to just try it again. I don't think you can be afraid of the hard strats if you're going for the times that Elo is.
Right. I mean, I think, screw this, I'm going for the safer route on that trick without failing that. Because I know that it can kill you.
I'll also just point out, Elo, despite taking those deaths, also got 3 Kuro cutscene skips in a row. So that's kind of cool.
There's definitely not a cutscene there.
Oh yeah.
We've established this.
Yes, you're right. My mistake. I misspoke. So Chicken has made his way to Stomp and is also making his way out. So Chicken's going to be coming up on his Kuro cutscene skip attempt before too long as well. I'm not sure whether he's going to get to Kuro cutscene before EloJimmini gets to his fast Stompless, though I'd expect we'd see both roughly around the same time. So we'll kind of be trying to pay attention to both sides. Chicken accidentally killed his frog quick. That's what I think Elo avoided by jumping off to the right. So Chicken's going to have to go get it again. But thankfully, he did make an intelligent safety save to not lose way the heck more time than that.
Absolutely. And meanwhile, Elo approaching his fast Stompless. We'll see how this goes for him. I would expect a just nice, easy first try. That looks good.
Does look good.
Movement, really solid. He's just going to be coming up and picking up the cell before that shot hits the rocks, and he gets it first try.
Cool. That's a trick that many KBN runners will execute by using their mouse cursor to aim the shot, and I assume that's what Elo probably did as well. Is that what you do, Rory, as a KBN
Yeah,
person?
I use a specific little visual crack in the wall as the location to put my cursor on.
That's right. I do want to quick point out, Chicken on the right missed his Kuro cutscene skip. It looked like his bash was just a little bit askew and accidentally just pelted that poor little innocent green froggo right in the face, and it died. So Chicken had to watch the cutscene as karmic punishment.
Yep.
So Chicken is going to be going off to the left. Hopefully won't have the same issues with the insta-kill spikes. Meanwhile, over on the left, Elo is taking his attempts at Sorrow Bash. He'll be able to use double bash strategies as well, similar to the strats we saw last run, making it look super free. Nice job.
And then now we will be seeing him come up on Crazy Juggle here, so keep your eyes on this left screen on Elo.
This is not a trick that you're going to get to see very often.
Yeah, he just takes this frog and somehow, through a series of 2-frame inputs, gets it all the way up here.
There's so many subtleties to it. Isn't even, I mean, it's hard enough to do what Elo's doing, and he executes it just fine. It's even harder, though. Like, if you paid close attention to that, right in the middle, Elo slowed down, because sometimes the charge dash will auto-target the wrong thing, and you'll just face-plant into an insta-kill laser. And so Elo, you know, intentionally just bashed it up without doing the C-dash stomp cancel a few times. That's just something you get with experience with the trick.
And another thing that I've noticed when I do that myself, that sometimes the frog can land on those platforms, which throws off your timing, which means that you could like just either stomp down or, like, worse, stomp onto a platform, damage the frog.
That's right. TLDR, it's a hard trick, but Elo's out. He's got the Sunstone. Because he did C Juggle, he has to go out of his way. He's going to avoid that. I'm going to guess that he's going to get on the way out as he makes his way fast and easy through the Cool Ranch Refinery, heading onwards towards Charge Jump. You're welcome. You're welcome, Rory. I have it written down and everything. I wrote.
I love this. I love all the different names that are coming up for this area.
It's my goal to have a different one for every single race. Anyway, so Elo's making it out. I think he's gonna. God, that strategy.
Oh my god!
I know.
Hello.
I know.
What in the world?
I know. He's a madman. I tell you.
I thought he wasn't gonna go for dumb things.
Maybe that's the exception. Maybe that's the one dumb thing he just has to go for. All those spikes are insta-kill. we can ask him about it if Elo decides to interview after this whole thing is over. Chicken is going to be going for his fast stomp so we can pay attention over there as Elo starts this Misty Woods. The shot looks, I think it looks good to me. Whatever the heck that's worth. Chicken has to make his way out. There's the spider shot, just barely got it. Can he make it up to the cell in time? Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Nice.
He got that cell, but not by much. That was like frames he had.
Oh man, Elo just had a really nice frog manipulation in Misty, getting the frog to send a shot after him as he picked up that first keystone, just so that he can bash back off of it.
I'm sorry, I almost interrupted you. Elo did miss one charge dash, though, which is going to burn an energy. That shouldn't be a big deal, because the way that charge dashing, just to sort of reiterate, works, it does cost an energy. Okay, no, there's the energy, because he wanted to make the safety save. Charge dashing costs an energy, but that energy can be refunded in a number of ways. It can be refunded if you immediately bash off of the thing. Ouch. That's
value safety save. He knew.
He did. Well, my thought is sort of moot because Elo sort of knows what he's doing. Unsurprisingly, the second place person knows what he's doing with his energy. So he's going to be making his way towards climb. Chicken on the right, though, is going to be taking his attempts at Sarabash as well. So direct your attention over to the right side of your screen.
Bird looks low, and it does hit the spikes.
Spikes are spiky.
Just had to test that out. Had to make sure.
Yep, you're welcome, Min Studios.
Do in fact still kill birds in one hit.
Nice job. Nice job. Interesting that
safety save.
Yeah, interesting that Chicken didn't go for the double bash. I don't know if he usually does or never does, but it doesn't matter because he got through just fine. Unlike Elo, I am quite certain that we will not be seeing a crazy juggle from Chicken. Instead, he will just be heading up to the top and doing a trick known as the Terra Break, but before doing Terra Break, he's going to float off to the left. So that's another difference. When someone does Terra Break, which Chicken is doing right now, he goes off to the left first before going up top to Sunstone, whereas EloJimmini went up top and then went left. It's a small route difference.
Right, and the reason for that being that if you do Crazy Juggle, you have a frog up there, so you can rocket jump off of them. Speaking of rocket jumps, I love that one.
Yeah.
That's such a cool rocket jump.
Yeah, and Elo had a really nice bit of movement there to really quickly do a charge dash into the slime. I almost feel like we're glossing over just how well Elo is playing. Just because it's expected out of someone like Elo doesn't mean it's any less impressive to pull off.
Yeah, it is. Misty is just... It's so incredible to watch. Especially when these top runners are just at their best.
Man, and Elo is just on incredibly good pace right now. I mean, he's not on PB pace, because to PB for Elo would be pretty much equivalent to a new world record, which would be awesome, but it's unlikely to see. But he's still making very, very good time. He has 10 out of 11 skills. He's heading back towards BRB. He's going to head down and skip a cutscene in an unintended way. Things are progressing along nicely.
And it looks like we're not going to be seeing the long save anywhere that we saw from Wilson. Because that long save anywhere is just silly. We might be seeing this long save anywhere, I don't know.
It's kind of better for a viewing experience anyway. You know,
Yep.
you can actually see what's going on.
No long save anywhere, which I like. I like being able to see the game that I'm watching.
Me too. Let's see if Elo can get this, what we call a Yoka cycle, based after a runner named Yoka. He did. Yoka cycle refers to kind of working your way through that laser, the bottom laser, one cycle early as opposed to waiting for it. It's not that hard to do. You just need to make sure you don't bonk anything on the way down.
Right, and it works by just sort of knowing where those laser cycles load in. Helps a lot with getting that, because you know where your movement has to be clean after.
That's right. That's sort of true for a lot of Ori, though. You just kind of have to know not only like the pattern of the cycles, but when those cycles start and end, i.e. when the objects in question load in, which can vary all the time.
Mellow. And he gets the cycle on the way out. Let's see if he gets these rocket jumps and this cycle as well. Very clean movement from Elo.
Unbelievable. Golf claps for you, Elo. So Elo's going to be making his way over to the right. Yep, there's the health cell. Remember that he does need 5, and that will be... Actually, that's number 4 for him.
That's number 4 for him.
Yeah, because he skipped the one way earlier, like at the start of the run that Chicken did decide to get. That does mean that we'll see Elo stop in on the way to Horu in an area that we call Horu Field to pick up his 5th health cell, which for most runners is number 6, but for Elo it's number 5. While we've been talking, Chicken has been making his way through Misty Woods. Doesn't look like he's having too many issues with it, but he also didn't make a safety save at the start of the area, so, you know, Chicken presumably feeling pretty confident. There's that health cell from Elo, and Elo's pretty quickly going to be coming up on Door Warper trick that we always have to talk about every single race because it's a fun little game. It's like our form of gambling to see what attempts someone's going to take.
I think he's going to get it first try. Nice grenade jump. I love that one.
Me too. Those grenade jumps do save time, right? It isn't just for show.
Yeah, they do save time.
Yeah, but as an added perk, they also look really cool.
Yes, and I think they stop saving time if you miss them, though.
That's right. So I think El's going to get it first try. I agree with you there. Let's see.
Well, I got a little bit of a spoiler from our stats guys saying that he got first try right before I saw it. Good job to Elo. That is a frame-perfect trick.
That's right. So Elo's going to be making his way through the final escape. We talk about it all the time, so, you know, people who have been watching multiple of these races, you may start hearing, hopefully not too much repetition, but, you know, we repeat things because it's always true. Elo has to make it through without taking any damage, or he will not have enough health to survive the swim through the poison pool. We'll also see Elo being a top-tier runner, as he is going for... What a madman. Well, he'll be seeing him at least attempt many of these grenade jumps and the stomp cancels. I will be interested to see whether this affects his fish cycles, you know, kind of some of this movement.
Yeah, I don't really know personally exactly where those fish cycles load, but that looks good.
I think it looks good. There's one fish, here's the second one, and he's out. One thing remains. What is it? What is it, Rory?
That is the final grenade jump. We've already seen him pull off a couple of them. The setup is... Alright, doesn't get it first try.
Nope, but he can get it the second try. Alright, nice job. Second try, grenade jump, still saves you quite a bit of time, and more importantly, he didn't soft lock, so Elo on the left will be taking our victory. GG to Elo. Right now, you can direct your attention, if you want to, over to Chicken as he sort of continues on with his run. As Elo finishes up here, and as we get confirmation on his final time, we'll also see if we can get some verification on whether these guys want to interview. I think we'll probably have time for an interview with both of them, assuming that they both want to.
Yes, I really want to interview Elo here. I need to know about that that stomp in Sorrow.
Yep, Elo's doing optimizations.
Brief side note, stats guys saying that the fish cycle is load after the second lantern in the escape, so that grenade jump wouldn't actually affect them.
I did not know that.
Yeah, neither did I. So, shoutouts to Grease in the truck for letting us know that.
Thank you, Grease. Okay, well, Elo has finished out. You can see his final time there, which I will assume is accurate. If it's not accurate, then you can, you know, someone can yell at me for that. But I'll assume it's accurate. Meanwhile, Chicken's going to make his way down. I would not expect to see too many troubles. Chicken is an experienced runner after all. He's been with Ori for quite some time, and his PB is, you know, I don't know if top tier is the right term. It's a good time. The problem with Ori,
a very respectable time.
The problem with Ori is that a lot of people are really, really good, and so by comparison, any time can look bad. But
Yeah.
Chicken's a good runner. That's what I'm trying to say, even though my words are not really cooperating with.
Right. So Chicken just picking up his final skill here, and we will now be seeing him head towards Toru. I don't know if we'll expect to see as much of the really crazy movement that we saw from Elo, but whatever he does, it'll get the job done. And he is going to go for this grenade jump.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, he got it too. That grenade jump is one that doesn't save time. Each of these grenade jumps is a 1-frame trick. You have to throw a grenade and then release your charge jump off of a wall 1 frame later, which is not that easy to do. It's made a little bit easier on keyboard mouse because you can, well, specifically the keyboard part of keyboard mouse, because you can rebind those 2 keys to be next to each other if you want to, but that's still, even pressing 2 keys next to each other 1 frame apart does take some practice.
Right. And I think it's a very similar rhythm for grenade jumps as it is for Crazy Juggle, actually.
That would make sense. Yeah.
That
makes total sense.
A 1-frame trick and a 2-frame trick.
Well, Chicken's sort of in the clear now. We did also get word that Chicken is, I think, was going to be watching the restream, so he knows that he has, lost the race, but is still going to finish this out strong. That's sort of what we expected going in, given the differences between their PBs. We expected Elo to take the victory, and we just wanted to see a solid performance from both sides, and that is what we're seeing, I think.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. This is a really, really solid performance from Chicken. He's definitely showing that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in these tournament races.
I agree with that. So Elo got first try door warp. We'll see if Chicken can steal Elo's energy and also get a first try. I believe that he can. I believe in you, Chicken.
I believe. First try.
You bought me pizza. You can do anything.
Buying pizza makes you go faster.
It does. It's true. Well-studied speedrun phenomenon. Yes!
See, look at that.
It works.
He bought pizza for us all at HDQ, and now he gets first try door warp. This is definitely not just an arbitrary set of coincidences.
Well, as we know, correlation equals causation, and therefore they are causationally related.
Yes.
Okay, so Chicken's gonna make his way as well through this little area right at the end. He has to avoid the boulders. All of these boulders and whatnot do spawn on a consistent cycle, so like Chicken doesn't have to play the RNG game to know where the boulders are going to be. If he dies and has to do the escape again, things can become a little bit more complicated because many of the boulder cycles tend to not really reset upon death in this escape, which can be annoying.
There are so many things that don't really reset upon death, and it's awful.
Yeah. Can be a little bit inconsistent. Well, it's consistently inconsistent. You just have to learn what resets and what doesn't. Chicken made it through the poison water. He's going to be coming up on his grenade jump. Elo got it, I think, just really, really quick. Did he get it first try or second try?
I think second try.
I think he got it second try. Let's see if Chicken can pull it off first try. Position, I think, looks good to me.
Position looks right.
Lining up the shot. Didn't get it first try. That's okay. You can pull it back down. There's no Kuro to mess with our day because we despawned her.
As long as you don't touch that cutscene trigger on that charge jump, you can just keep retrying this as long as you have energy. It does, however, cost 1/2 of an energy every time you throw one of those grenades out.
Yeah, so sometimes you can be gated by energy, if not time. This trick saves enough time that it is pretty much always worth it to give it multiple attempts, unless you either run out of energy or you kind of just decide, you know what, I want to finish it out. Chicken may be running out of energy. I don't know how much he has.
I didn't see a grenade get thrown there, so...
No, he might be out of energy. It's hard to say. It looks like he's going to continue taking... Yep, there it is. There he checked.
Yep. Yeah, you do
okay.
need half an energy to do this trick, at a minimum. It doesn't actually cost energy if you get it properly, but you do have to have that half of an energy, and if you don't, you can't throw the grenade, so you can't do the trick.
That is right. So Chicken didn't get his grenade jump, but that's okay. He still finished out. It's, certainly faster to just finish out than going back and doing the entire escape again. I actually wonder if you did the whole escape super fast and got a first try grenade jump, would that be faster than doing this?
I don't think so, because
I don't think so either.
Grenade jump only saves like 35 seconds. It is a minute 20 seconds to just watch the ending cutscene all the way through. So you'd have to be just tearing through the escape, and I don't even think it would be faster.
Well, plus then you just have to do the escape again, and like in a race like this, I think it's pretty understandable to just want to finish it out, and it's faster anyway. So I mean, there's really not too much difficult logic behind that. Chicken is going to be holding right. We'll see if he decides for Hoptimizations. Hoptimizations is a little joke term we use to refer jumping with this character Naru. Jumping is actually slower, but it's kind of funny sometimes. Nope, he's just going to run off to the right, and we'll get confirmation on his final time momentarily.
And this is going to be a little over 2 minutes behind his PB as of last night.
It's sort of comparable to the last run we had, right? Like Wilson took the victory, and Zeph was about 2-ish minutes behind PB, I think. And that's kind of what we have here too.
Mm-hmm. And that's just really, really impressive to see. I like seeing these times that are really close to PBs from racers, just because it shows how much the consistency matters.
That is true. So with both of our runners finished, we will be pulling them in for an interview. Elo, I already see up there, and I'm going to confirm whether we're going to get Chicken. I'm just going to pull in EloJimmini now, and we can start chatting with him. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Hi, Elo. I just dragged you in here against your will.
Well, I suppose I'm here now.
Well, congrats on your win, first of all.
Thank you.
Yeah, you had a question, Rory.
Yeah. You did a really crazy stomp in Sorrow to pick up some XP.
Yes.
Why?
So the explanation behind this is very, very simple. It is much safer to do that than it is to actually just dangle down precariously hoping that you don't nudge into spikes. So the height that I was at, the stomp cancels itself if you hold feather, and it's the perfect height just to drop and get that 100. So it looks scary as hell, but it's actually fine.
But what if you're like slightly off to the left or right?
You could say that if you're just dangling for the XP as well.
Yeah. See, I understand your logic, but that doesn't make it any less scary to watch.
Yeah.
Is it faster?
Yeah. Well, we also have the one and only Pizza Master Chicken Supreme in here with us. GG, Chicken.
Thanks, Grim.
Yeah, we started this thing by telling everyone the story of how you bought everyone pizza.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So how are you feeling about that race, Chicken, now that it's done?
I wish I could have my swamp exit back. That tilted me so hard. And I don't know if you saw my Kuro cutscene skip. I bashed the shot the wrong way. I don't even know what was going on there.
That was really unfortunate.
Yeah, I did laugh. I want to be honest, I did laugh, but I also sympathized with that happening. I guess I'm totally blanking for a moment. So Roy, I think I'll throw it back to you if you have some more questions. I think of some good ones.
The Sorrow stomp was the big thing for me, but I guess like, how are you both feeling after that race? Just in terms of how do you feel like your performance was?
I feel all right. Yeah, I mean, aside from the spaghetti exiting swamp, I was really happy that I got Stompless. I haven't gotten Stompless first try in like 5 or 6 runs now, and I don't know, everything. My Misty, I think, was pretty smooth. I was pretty happy with it. But yeah, aside from the swamp exit and the grenade jump at the end, I was pretty happy with it, actually.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I kind of want to ask Elo a question, but I want to ask sort of you a question first, Chicken. You've been around Ori for a while, and you were in the last tournament, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Do you have like a goal time for Ori, generally speaking, or are you just kind of trying to PB in as much as you can, kind of thing?
I think right now my goal is to get around a mid 34, like a 34-30 I'd be pretty happy with. I've never been too dedicated to like ILing splits or anything, so I always just do no reset runs, and I mean, I don't really optimize, so like getting a really good time is probably not in the cards for me unless I want to do that, but I just have fun, so.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense. And Elo, my next question is to you. In the last race, I had asked Wilson sort of what his goals were for the tournament. So the question I want to ask you is, by how many seconds are you going to beat Wilson when you face him?
He's probably going to beat me too. I don't even know if I'm going to face Wilson. I've not been playing a lot of Ori recently. I've been playing other games because, yeah, I'm not sure the reasons. I mean, I just played it to death, so I've been playing other games at the moment, so kind of tried to de-rust before this tournament. I've still not been playing that much, unfortunately.
Well, you did just put up a faster race time than Wilson did, for what that's worth, by about 6 seconds.
I also feel I should point out what happened at the 5th energy cell.
Please.
So, like a couple days ago, I thought that the damage boost that you have to do just at the spikes after the cell, why do you need to take that damage boost? Surely it's faster just to jump around it. And I actually found a way to do it, so I was quite determined to get it in the race. Unfortunately, I died twice and had to do the Kuro cutscenes like 3 times, but it was fun.
You got it 3 times,
Almost
though.
got it.
You got it 3 times.
That's true. Just
At
trying
least
to
you
get
didn't
there.
have to watch the Kuro cutscene 3 times.
I almost did at the end when I was scared, but yeah, it worked out.
Elo, let me ask you one more thing quick. When you did take those deaths around the 5th energy, did you feel tilted or salty, or did you just think, well, okay, I just have to try it again?
No, I don't really get tilted. So pretty much after the death at the God Cycle in Swamp, I was kind of like, okay, this isn't a PB. So I just went for a little bit more silly things and kind of had fun with the run instead of just going, I'm going to lose. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, Roy, do you have any other questions? Otherwise, I have one more question to close out with Chicken.
I have one more for Elo. You've sort of in the community been known for your consistency with the run. Where do you think that comes from, and like what sort of mentality do you have to have when you're practicing to make that happen?
I feel it's the way I started. Like, many people join this game. I've seen it in a lot of the new players, and they really want to just dive straight into the difficult strats, but the way I started off is I just did like the basic run, and then I kept on adding one thing at a time, perfecting it, then I'll add the next thing, try and get the best time. So I've just kind of mastered everything as I've went along, so the end result is a very consistent run with everything in it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That does.
Chicken, I have one more question for you, and then we'll close things out because we do have another race coming up. What is your preferred topping or toppings on pizza?
Pineapple. Yep.
Ooh,
No
good
comment.
answer. That's fair. Okay, well, that's 2 Rory races down. We do have another one coming up just after this on Speed Gaming. Roy, do you want to quick tell us what's coming up next year?
Yeah, we have another just incredible lineup here. We just went from seeing the world record holder to the 2nd place runner, and now we're going to get another top 5 runner in Hydra coming up next, who was originally seeded 3rd, but due to some other PBs is now 5th on the leaderboard. So you can expect incredible things out of that run as well. So definitely make sure to stick around.
Absolutely. And as we said, that race is coming up in just a few minutes. We are going to take a break to, allow Tara, our restreamer, to breathe for 4 seconds and get everything set up. Roy and I are going to be done commentating, but we have 2 other fantastic commentators in the form of Covert Muffin and Sigma coming in after us. So make sure to stick around. Goodbye, everyone.